take a slow breath. Let your shoulders drop. You do not need to focus too hard. Tonight, we are not rushing anywhere. We are slowly stepping back in time, far back, to a place called ancient Rome. No cars pass by, no phones light up, no messages demand attention, just stone streets, warm air, and the quiet noise of a very old city that never fully sleeps. This is not a story about emperors giving speeches. It is not about great battles or famous victories. Tonight is about normal people, people who woke up tired, people who went to work, people who worried about food, money, and sleep, people who were, in many ways, not very different from us. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of the city. The sun is still low. The light is soft and golden. The streets are made of stone. They are uneven and worn down by millions of footsteps. Some stones have been here longer than any building you know today. The air smells like dust, bread, and smoke from small cooking fires. You hear footsteps, voices, someone arguing, someone laughing. Welcome to ancient Rome. Rome is not a quiet village. It is big, crowded, busy. At its height, hundreds of thousands of people lived here. Some were rich, some were poor, some were free citizens, some were slaves. All of them shared the same streets. Rome is alive from early morning until late at night. Shops open early. Workers move quickly. Animals wander where they please. And yes, sometimes animals are better at using the streets than people. The city is tightly packed. Buildings stand close together. Some are tall apartment blocks made of brick and wood. People live on top of each other. Privacy is rare. Silence is even rarer. If you walk through the streets, you must watch your step, and also watch above your head. People often throw waste out of windows, water, scraps, sometimes worse. Romans learned early to stay alert. But Rome is more than dirt and noise. It is full of energy. Bread is being baked somewhere nearby. You can smell it before you see it. Bakers are already working, even before sunrise. Vendors prepare their stalls. They call out loudly, hoping to catch the attention of early buyers. Rome does not use clocks the way we do. The day follows the sun. When the light comes, the city wakes. Most people rise early. Sleeping late is not common. There are no soft mattresses or blackout curtains. Beds are simple, rooms are small. The day begins whether you feel ready or not. Life in Rome moves at a steady pace. It is not rushed like modern life, but it is not easy either. Everything takes effort. Water must be carried. Food must be prepared from scratch. Work is physical and long. Still, people laugh. They gossip. They complain about neighbors. Some things never change. This documentary will not follow a single hero. There is no main character with a dramatic destiny. Instead, we will gently walk beside an ordinary Roman, a shop worker, a craftsman, a servant, a child learning their place in the world. We will see how they wake up, what they eat, how they work, how they rest. We will follow a full day, slowly and calmly. Think of this as a quiet walk through time. You do not need to remember names or dates. There will be no tests later. Just listen. Rome is a public city. Most of life happens outdoors. People eat in public, work in public, argue in public. If you whisper a secret, chances are someone nearby hears it. News spreads fast. Rumors spread faster. There are no newspapers like today. People learn things by listening. Someone always knows something. Life here is not equal. This is important to understand early. Some people live in large houses with gardens and fountains. Others live in crowded apartments with little light and poor air. Some eat well every day. Others worry about their next meal. Yet the city works. Everyone has a role. Rome depends on routine. Every morning follows a pattern. Every evening settles into familiar sounds. As the day moves on, the city grows louder. Carts roll across stone roads. Metal tools strike stone and wood. Children run through streets. Dogs sleep in the shade. By afternoon, the heat grows heavy. Movement slows. People seek shade. Rome breathes in cycles. This chapter is only the beginning. In the chapters ahead, we will explore where Romans lived, how they slept, what they ate, how they worked. We will visit markets, baths, and homes. We will see moments of stress, comfort, and rest. But for now, we are simply arriving. Stand still for a moment. Listen to the city. The sound of footsteps fades into the distance. The smell of bread drifts away. The day is just beginning. Ancient Rome waits. And as you listen, you may notice something familiar. Life, even 2,000 years ago, was not so different after all. The day in ancient Rome begins quietly, not suddenly, not loudly. There is no alarm clock, no sharp sound telling everyone to wake up at the same time. Instead, the city wakes slowly, piece by piece. The sky begins to change color. Dark blue turns into soft gray, then pale orange. Light slips into narrow streets and small rooms. It finds its way through cracks, windows, and doorways. Some people are already awake. Others are still turning on their simple beds. Rome does not sleep deeply. It only rests. In the early morning, the streets are cooler. The air feels lighter. This is the best time of day to move around. Soon, footsteps begin to echo on stone roads. One pair, then another. A man walks quickly, carrying a basket. A woman opens a wooden door and steps outside. Someone coughs nearby. The city stretches. Rome is crowded, even at sunrise. Buildings stand close together. Many are tall apartment blocks called insula. These buildings are packed with people. Families live in small rooms. Some share walls, some share floors. When one person wakes up, others often wake too. Privacy is limited. Silence is rare. From above, a window opens. Someone pours out dirty water. Hopefully, they look first. Most Romans learn early to walk carefully. The streets are uneven. Stone slabs are worn smooth from centuries of use. Carts have left deep marks in the road. Animals move freely. Donkeys, dogs, and sometimes pigs wander around. They seem very comfortable here. Shops begin to open their doors. Wooden shutters creak loudly. Metal locks click open. A baker is already working. He has been awake for hours. Bread is important in Rome, very important. The smell of fresh bread spreads through the street. It moves slowly, like a gentle invitation. People follow the smell without thinking too much about it. Breakfast in Rome is simple. There is no big morning meal. Most people eat bread, maybe with olives, maybe with cheese. Wine is common, even in the morning, but it is always mixed with water. Drinking pure wine is seen as rude. and also a bad idea before work. Rome believes in balance. Most of the time, as the sun rises higher, the city grows louder. Vendors call out to customers. Their voices bounce off stone walls. Someone is selling fruit, someone else sells cloth, another sells hot food from a small stall. The streets fill with movement. Workers hurry past. Slaves follow behind their owners. Children run between adults, already full of energy. Rome does not wait for anyone. The city is full of contrasts. On one street, you see well-dressed citizens walking calmly. On another, you see people struggling to carry heavy loads. Some homes have beautiful courtyards and fountains. Others are dark rooms with little air. Everyone shares the same streets, but not the same life. Noise is constant. Hammers strike metal. Wood is cut. Carts roll loudly over stone. If you are trying to sleep late, Rome does not care. Windows are open. Sounds travel easily. If your neighbor is awake, you probably are too. Public life is the heart of the city. People do not stay indoors much. Homes are small and uncomfortable. The streets are where life happens. News spreads through voices, not paper. Someone always knows something. Did you hear? Did you see? Did you know? Sometimes the information is correct. Sometimes it is not. No one checks sources. Rome also smells very alive. Bread, smoke, sweat, animals, food, and waste all mixed together. It is not pleasant by modern standards, but Romans are used to it. To them, this is normal. Water flows through parts of the city. Aqueducts bring fresh water from far away. Fountains provide water for drinking and washing. People gather around them early in the day. They talk while filling containers. These moments are social, quiet, but not silent. As the morning continues, the city becomes fully awake. Courts open. Offices begin work. Temples receive visitors. Priests prepare small rituals. Nothing dramatic. Religion in Rome is part of daily routine. Like brushing your teeth, if you had teeth brushes. Time is measured by the sun. Shadows move slowly across walls and streets. People adjust their pace without thinking. By now, the streets are busy. It is harder to move quickly. You must watch where you step. Someone bumps into you. They keep walking. This is normal. Rome does not apologize much. Yet, in all this movement, there is rhythm. The city knows how to function. Everyone has a role, even if it is small. A seller sells. A worker works. A child learns by watching. Rome is not gentle, but it is alive. By mid-morning, the city is fully awake. The cool air is gone. The heat begins to rise. People slow down slightly. They save energy for the long day ahead. This waking moment is important. It sets the tone for everything that follows. The noise, the movement, the shared space. This is daily life in ancient Rome. Not glorious, not peaceful, but steady. In the next chapter, we will step inside Roman homes. We will see where people lived, slept, and spent their private moments. For now, let the city continue its rhythm. The streets are awake, the people are moving, and Rome, once again, has begun another day. In ancient Rome, home was not a quiet place. It was not always comfortable, and it was rarely private. But it was where life happened. When you walk through the city, you quickly notice something important. Not everyone lives the same way. Some people live in large houses with open courtyards and gardens. Others live in small rooms stacked high above the street. Rome has two main types of homes. One is called a domus. The other is called an insula. The difference between them tells you almost everything about a person's life. Let us start with the domus. A domus is the home of a wealthy Roman family. From the outside, it looks simple, almost plain. Romans do not show off much from the street, but once you step inside, things change. The front door opens into a central space called the atrium. Light comes down from an opening in the roof. Rainwater falls into a small pool below. This pool collects water for the household. Around the atrium are rooms for sleeping, working and storage. Further inside, there may be a garden. Yes, an indoor garden, flowers, plants, sometimes a small fountain. For rich Romans, home is calm and cool. It is a break from the noisy streets. Slaves move quietly through the house. They clean, cook, and carry messages. The family gathers here in the evenings. They eat together. They talk. This home is designed for comfort. But most Romans do not live like this. Most people live in insulae. An insula is an apartment building, tall, crowded, busy. Some insulae are 5 or 6 stories high. They are made from brick and wood. The higher you live, the cheaper it is, and also more dangerous. Lower floors are stronger and closer to the street. Upper floors are lighter and less stable. If a fire starts, upper floors are the worst place to be, and fires happen often. Apartments are small, very small. One room may hold an entire family. They sleep, eat, and live in the same space. Furniture is basic: a bed, a stool, a small table. If you are lucky, many families cook outside or buy food from street vendors. Cooking indoors is risky. Fire is always a threat. There is no running water in most apartments. No bathrooms either. People use public fountains and public toilets. Privacy is limited. You hear your neighbors, they hear you. Arguments travel through walls, so does laughter. And snoring, especially snoring. The streets below are loud. Carts roll by. People shout. Animals make noise. If you live in an insula, silence is rare. Night does not bring peace, just darkness. Some insulae are well built. Others are cheap and unsafe. Landlords often cut corners. They care more about money than safety. Buildings collapse sometimes. Romans know this risk. They live with it. For many, there is no better option. Now, inside these homes, daily life is simple. Beds are not soft. They are made from wood or stone. Straw or cloth is used as padding. Comfort is basic. People rise early because light enters the room quickly. There are no curtains like today. At night, oil lamps provide light. They are small and smoky. Too many lamps make the air hard to breathe, so people use them carefully. Homes smell like smoke, oil, and people. Cleaning is done often, but tools are limited. Water must be carried from fountains. This takes time and effort. Children help with chores. Everyone does something. Homes are not quiet places of rest. They are working spaces. Even in rich homes, the day begins early. Slaves prepare meals, they sweep floors, they heat water. The family wakes as the house comes alive. In poorer homes, mornings are faster. People eat quickly. They leave early for work. There is little time to rest. Decoration depends on wealth. Rich homes have painted walls, bright colors. Scenes from nature or myths. Poor homes are plain, bare walls, little decoration, but people still add personal touches. A small charm, a religious symbol, a lucky object. Romans believe strongly in household spirits. They keep small shrines in their homes. Even poor families try to have one. These spirits are thought to protect the family. A quiet moment in the morning, a small offering. It brings comfort. Home is also where families gather. Meals are shared when possible. Stories are told. Plans are discussed. Even in crowded spaces, family matters. At night, people settle in. They bolt doors. They check lamps. Crime exists, but neighbors watch each other. In apartment buildings, people know who lives nearby. Trust is built slowly. Sleeping arrangements vary. Children often sleep together. Adults share beds. Sometimes slaves sleep in hallways or near doors. Comfort is less important than space as night deepens. The city outside quiets slightly, not fully, but enough. From inside these homes, Romans rest. Tomorrow will be much the same. Another early morning, another long day. Roman homes are not perfect, they are not peaceful, but they are lived in. They hold laughter, stress, warmth, and exhaustion. They are the center of Roman life. In the next chapter, we will look closer at how Romans slept and began their mornings. For now, imagine the soft glow of an oil lamp, the sound of distant footsteps outside, a simple bed, a long day behind you, and sleep slowly arriving. In ancient Rome, sleep is simple, not fancy, not always comfortable, but it is necessary. After a long day, people slowly settle into their homes. The streets outside grow quieter, but never fully silent. Rome does not sleep deeply. It only rests. Inside Roman homes, night begins with small routines. Oil lamps are lit, doors are closed, voices soften. Beds are not what we would call cozy today. Most beds are made of wood or stone. On top, there is straw, cloth, or wool. Pillows are small, sometimes very hard. Romans do not expect luxury from sleep. They expect rest. Many people share beds. Parents, children, sometimes grandparents. In crowded apartments, space is limited. People sleep wherever they can. Some sleep on the floor, some near doors, some close to windows for air. Comfort depends on your wealth. In rich homes, bedrooms are larger, beds are better made. There may be curtains for privacy. In poor homes, sleep is practical. You lie down when the day is done. Clothing is simple at night. Often, people sleep in the same clothes they wore during the day. Changing clothes is a luxury. The night sounds of Rome drift inside. Footsteps on stone, a cart rolling by, a distant voice, sometimes laughter, sometimes arguments. Animals are never far away. Dogs bark, donkeys shift and breathe. If you wake up at night, this is normal. Most Romans wake several times during the night. Sleep is lighter and shorter than today. There are no clocks to check. Time is felt, not measured. Oil lamps are expensive to keep burning all night. So darkness fills the room. Darkness feels different without electric light. It is thicker, heavier. Eventually, sleep returns. Morning arrives early. Light enters through windows, doors, and roof openings. The sun decides when the day begins. Roosters crow. Vendors shout. Neighbors move around. Rome wakes you up whether you want it to or not. People rise with the light. Sleeping late is rare, not because people love mornings, but because work demands it. The first thing many Romans do is wash. There is no running water at home. Water must be carried from fountains. Some splash water on their face. Others wipe with a damp cloth. Soap is not common. Oil is used instead. People rub oil on their skin and scrape it off with a metal tool. This cleans the body. It sounds strange, but it works. Teeth are cleaned with cloth or sticks, sometimes with powder. Morning grooming is quick. There is no mirror obsession. No long routines. Time matters. Clothes are put on. Sandals are tied. Belts are adjusted. Children are woken up, sometimes gently, sometimes not. Breakfast is small. Most people eat bread, dry or dipped in water. If you are lucky, there are olives or cheese. Wine mixed with water is common, even in the morning. This is normal for Romans. Pure water is not always trusted. Wine feels safer. Meals are not events. They are fuel. Rich families eat slightly better, but breakfast remains simple. After eating, people prepare to leave. Tools are picked up. Baskets are filled. Work begins early to avoid the heat. Slaves receive instructions. Children are sent to learn or help. The house becomes busy. In rich homes, slaves clean and organize. They prepare for the day ahead. In poor homes, families leave together. The home may empty empty for hours. Before leaving, many Romans pause for a small ritual. They stand near a household shrine. They offer a prayer or a thought. This takes only a moment. Religion is part of daily habit, not ceremony. Once outside, the day moves quickly. Morning is the most productive time. The air is cooler. Energy is higher. Rome is already loud by now. Shops open fully. Stalls fill the streets. People blend into the movement. No one stands still for long. Morning routines repeat every day. They are not exciting, but they are steady, and that is what keeps life going. Sleep, wake, work. Romans accept this rhythm. They do not fight it. As the sun climbs higher, the city grows warmer. People adjust their pace. The morning fades into midday. Another day has fully begun. In the next chapter, we will follow Romans as they eat and work through the day. For now, imagine the simple comfort of routine, a short night, an early morning, and a world that moves with the sun. Morning in Rome is quiet, but not empty. The streets are alive with footsteps, animal sounds, and vendors opening their stalls. The smell of bread floats in the air. Bread is important in ancient Rome, very important. Sometimes it is dry, sometimes soft, sometimes sprinkled with olive oil. Most Romans begin their day with bread. A little cheese, maybe some olives, simple, not fancy, not Instagram ready. Just fuel for the day. Wine diluted with water is often part of breakfast too. Yes, in the morning. But don't worry, it is very weak. Just a sip to start the day. Strong wine is for later, after work, when the sun is hot and the body is tired. Breakfast is not about pleasure. It is about energy. Eating slowly is a luxury. The rich eat slightly better. They might have eggs or fruit. Some honey for sweetness, maybe nuts. But even the wealthiest Romans rarely make breakfast a long ceremony. Families gather around a table or a simple surface. Sometimes they eat sitting, sometimes standing, sometimes leaning against walls. Children often eat quickly. Parents keep an eye on them. Slaves serve food, clear dishes, and clean up. In crowded apartments, space is limited. Families eat together, but privacy is nearly impossible. The smells of food mix with the smells of the house. Oil lamps, wood smoke, animals, people moving around. It might seem chaotic, but Romans are used to it. They adapt, they live in it. After breakfast, preparations for the day begin. Workers gather tools, merchants fill baskets, slaves carry water, food, and messages. Morning is active, busy, necessary. Some Romans, especially in poor households, eat breakfast on the street. Vendors sell bread, cheese, and small snacks. People grab what they need and continue walking. Street breakfast is quick. No time to sit, no time to linger. Even the rich sometimes join the hustle. Markets are the center of daily life. They are not only for buying goods, they are for news, gossip, and human connection. Food is simple, but life is not simple. What you eat depends on where you live, how much money you have, and sometimes luck. The staple for most Romans is bread. Grains were everywhere. Wheat for the wealthy, barley or cheaper grains for the poor. Olives are common, oil for cooking and taste, cheese from goats or sheep. Fruit is seasonal. Sometimes dried fruit is used when fresh is not available. Meat is rare for ordinary Romans, mostly for festivals, celebrations, or the rich. Fish is more common, especially in coastal areas. Spices exist, but they are expensive. Most people season with salt. Drinking water is sometimes unsafe. Wine diluted with water is safer. Even breakfast shows a balance of practicality and culture. Fuel first, comfort second. After eating, people clean quickly. Slaves wash dishes. The house might be swept. Water is carried from fountains. Hygiene is basic but consistent. Morning meals also set social rhythms. Family members exchange words. Slaves take instructions. Children prepare for learning or work. The streets outside grow louder. The market fills. Carts roll by. Animals wander. Noise spreads from every corner. Breakfast is a small pause in this movement, a quiet anchor before the city fully awakens. Even the rich do not linger too long. Time matters. The day has already begun. Some households have slightly larger meals in the mid-morning, called prandium. These are like a snack or second breakfast. Bread, cheese, olives. Sometimes leftovers from yesterday, nothing extravagant. For ordinary Romans, food is never wasted. Every crumb counts. Every bite is fuel. This practicality shapes Roman life. It affects how they work, socialize, and survive. Meals are also moments for quiet reflection. Even in a noisy city, people find small moments of calm, a sip of wine, a bite of bread, a glance at the rising sun. It is peaceful in its own way, not silent, not luxurious, but human. Food connects everyone, rich, poor, free, slave. All start their day with bread, some with olives, some with diluted wine. It is simple, it is enough, it works. After breakfast, the city is fully awake, vendors call louder, work begins in every corner. Children run to school or errands. Slaves follow orders, quietly but efficiently. The morning meal marks the beginning of active life, fuel for the day, energy for work, errands, and survival. And so, As Romans finish their bread and sip their weak wine, they step into the streets, their stomachs full enough, their minds ready. The city of Rome fully alive around them. From this small, simple breakfast, the rhythms of daily life continue. It is a quiet, human moment, a slow, steady start to a long day. In the next chapter, we will follow Romans to their work. We will see how they labor, create, and spend the hours between breakfast and the evening. But for now, picture a Roman biting into bread, olives on the side, a sip of diluted wine, the streets waking up outside, and the day just beginning. After breakfast, Romans step fully into their day. The city is alive now. The streets are filled with movement, noise, and purpose. Work is central to life in ancient Rome. It structures the hours, it shapes the routines, it keeps people busy, awake, and sometimes tired. Not everyone works in the same way. Jobs differ depending on wealth, status, and skills. Let's start with the common citizens. These are the shopkeepers, craftsmen, and laborers. Their day begins early. They leave home while the air is still cool. A blacksmith hammers metal in his small workshop. The sound echoes down narrow streets. Every strike is precise. Every piece of metal has a purpose. A baker kneads dough, shaping loaves for the day ahead. The smell spreads, inviting people to buy breakfast, lunch, or a snack. Even if you ate at home, the scent is hard to resist. Artisans work carefully. Potters, weavers, and carpenters focus on their craft. Some make tools, some make furniture, some make beautiful decorations for the homes of the wealthy. Each piece of work is small but important. Without it, the city would not function. Farmers also rise early. Some live near the city, others far away. They bring fruits, vegetables, and grains to sell. Their carts rumble slowly over stone roads. Animals pull them forward. It is hard work, but necessary. Children sometimes help their parents, carrying small baskets, running errands, learning skills they will need one day. Slaves have a different kind of work. Some work in homes, cooking, cleaning, running errands. Some work in fields, shops, or workshops. Their labor is constant, but often invisible. Rich Romans have fewer tasks. Their day may include supervising, attending meetings, or visiting public spaces. They observe life more than perform it. But even they rely on the work of others. Work is physical, long hours, few breaks. The sun rises, heats the streets, and people adjust their pace. Rest is limited. Every moment counts. Some labor is dangerous. Construction workers lift heavy stones. Carpenters use sharp tools. Blacksmiths handle fire and metal. Accidents are common, and medical help is basic. Yet, Romans adapt. They learn through experience. They build stamina, precision, and skill. Even women have work, not in the fields usually, but in homes, cooking, weaving, cleaning. Sometimes selling goods in markets. Managing household tasks is a full-time job. Work is also social. Neighbors observe, talk, and sometimes gossip. Apprentices learn from masters. Trades are passed down through families. The rhythm of labor structures the day. Morning is active. By mid-morning, most streets buzz with noise. People shout prices, greetings, and warnings. Animals make their own music. Carts bump over stones. Metal tools strike repeatedly. All this activity seems chaotic, but to Romans, it is normal. It is life. Lunch is often short. Some take a break, some continue working. The day rarely stops. Merchants count money. Blacksmiths check orders. Farmers prepare the next batch of goods. Even in busy streets, small moments of calm exist. A child pauses to watch birds. A woman hums while weaving. A man wipes sweat from his forehead. Romans notice these small moments. They carry them quietly through the day. Work is not glamorous. It is steady, necessary, fulfilling in small ways. Skill is respected. Hard work is honored. Survival depends on effort. Despite the hard labor, Romans sometimes find humor. A cart might tip over. A child spills water. Neighbors laugh quietly. Life moves on. For the poor, every hour of work is about survival. For the middle class, it is about maintaining status. For the rich, it is about overseeing and controlling. Yet, all are connected. Without one, the others cannot thrive. By late afternoon, the heat of the day slows activity. People rest briefly. Some return home for a light meal. Some gather in public spaces to talk or watch. Even the city itself seems to breathe with the rhythm of labor. The streets swell and quiet. Noise rises and falls. Life moves steadily forward. Work defines more than survival. It shapes identity. It teaches discipline. It structures time. In Rome, almost everyone works. Even children have tasks. Even slaves have responsibilities. There is pride in doing your part, even in small ways. The day continues until evening, when streets calm and people return home. Work slows, tasks are completed. The city prepares to rest, only to wake again tomorrow. As we leave this busy morning, imagine the rhythm, the pounding of hammers, the smell of bread, the chatter of streets, the quiet determination of people doing their part. This is ancient Rome at work, not glorious, not dramatic, just alive. In the next chapter, we will follow slaves in daily life, seeing the unseen rhythm that keeps the city moving. For now, take a slow breath. Imagine the streets full of people, animals, and carts, the city alive with effort, and the sun climbing higher in the sky. In ancient Rome, life was not equal. Some people were free, some people were rich, and some people were slaves. Slavery is not a fun topic, but it is a part of Roman daily life, and understanding it helps us see the city fully. Slaves are everywhere, in homes, shops, workshops, and streets. They make life possible for everyone else, and their work never stops. Some slaves are household workers. They clean, cook, and serve food. They take care of children. They carry messages. Other slaves work outside, in markets, farms, and construction. They lift heavy stones, carry goods, and dig the roads. Some slaves are skilled. They are craftsmen, teachers, or clerks. They handle delicate tasks. Sometimes they are trusted more than ordinary free citizens. Slaves wake early, even before the rest of the household. They move quietly at first, preparing water, sweeping floors, and making fire for cooking. In rich homes, slaves have strict routines. Every task is scheduled. Every order must be followed. Mistakes are not tolerated, but not every moment is strict. There are brief pauses, a small joke, a whispered story. Slaves learn the rhythm of the house. They know when their master will wake. They know when meals will be served. They know when the house is quiet. Some slaves sleep in small rooms near the kitchen. Some even sleep near the doorway. Comfort is minimal. Space is shared. Even in these difficult conditions, life continues. Children play quietly, animals move around, and the city outside carries on its noise. Slaves also help outside the home. Farm slaves rise with the sun. They tend to animals, water crops, and carry harvests. Some are sent to markets to sell goods. They travel long distances, always busy, always alert. Skilled slaves have different routines. A craftsman slave in a workshop may spend hours shaping metal, weaving cloth, or making pottery. Their work is valued, but they are still owned by someone else. Some slaves serve as tutors or accountants. They teach children or keep records. They are educated, respected, and sometimes envied. But they are still slaves. Life is not easy for anyone who is enslaved. Rest is brief. Comfort is rare. Freedom is almost impossible. And yet, they survive. They adapt. They find small joys. Sometimes it is a small conversation. Sometimes it is a moment to watch the sunrise. Sometimes it is a joke shared quietly with another slave. Slaves in Rome are human first, workers second. They laugh, cry, and feel. Children who are slaves also have tasks. They may help with cooking, cleaning, or running errands. They may learn skills to serve in adulthood. Childhood is short, and responsibility comes early. Despite hardship, slaves are essential. Without them, the city could not function. Without them, homes, workshops, and streets would be empty or chaotic. Some slaves are trusted with important duties. They may manage household accounts. They may oversee other slaves. Some even gain respect and small privileges. Yet, their lives are never fully their own. Every action is watched, every decision controlled. Slavery in Rome is also about hierarchy. Even slaves have social ranks among themselves. Some supervise, some follow orders. They know the rules and adapt to them. Despite this, moments of freedom exist. Slaves may briefly leave for errands. They may socialize quietly. They may exchange news or gossip. Small freedoms are cherished. Life as a slave teaches resilience, patience, cleverness, observation. A Roman citizen may sleep comfortably, but a slave is always alert, always working, always part of the machine of the city. Slavery also shapes Roman culture, many customs, routines, and luxuries of wealthy Romans rely entirely on the work of slaves, from cleaning floors to cooking meals, from carrying water to preparing clothes. The daily life of Rome is built on their labor. It is not a glamorous life. It is not celebrated in stories, but it is everywhere. When walking through the city, notice the baker stirring dough, the servant cleaning a floor, the craftsman shaping metal. Their hands are the hidden engine of the city. Without them, Rome would be quiet, empty, impossible to function. Even at night, some slaves continue their work. Fires must be kept burning, animals cared for, late shipments delivered. Their day rarely ends. Their sleep is short. Their mornings come too early. Yet life continues. Observing this teaches something important. Every role in Rome matters, even those unseen by history. Ordinary citizens depend on them. Wealthy citizens depend on them. The entire rhythm of the city depends on their labor. And even in this hard, structured life, humans find small joys, laughter, brief conversations, moments of calm. Tomorrow, the cycle will repeat, and the city of Rome will continue to move, work, life, and survival flowing together. For now, imagine walking through the quiet rooms of a Roman house. A slave moves softly, preparing for the day. Another tends the fire. A child whispers to a friend. Even in hardship, life continues, and even in routine, small moments of humanity shine. Childhood in ancient Rome is very different from today, but in many ways it is surprisingly familiar. Children run, play, laugh, and sometimes argue. They cry, they learn, and they get into trouble, just like kids today. Yet life for Roman children is also full of responsibilities. Childhood is short, work and learning start early. Most Roman children are born at home, in small apartments or larger houses. Families celebrate quietly. There is little luxury, but plenty of care. From a young age, children learn their place in the world. They watch adults. They help at home. They imitate grown-ups. Girls and boys have slightly different roles. Girls often help their mothers with household chores, cooking, cleaning, weaving, and caring for younger siblings. Boys help their fathers or other male relatives. They carry goods, run errands, and sometimes practice skills for future work. Education depends on wealth. Some children attend schools. Rich boys often learn reading, writing, math, and public speaking. Sometimes they even study Greek, philosophy, or history. These lessons are strict. Mistakes are not taken lightly. Poor children usually learn at home. They watch parents or older siblings. They practice skills they will need to earn a living. Sometimes this is farming, crafting, or selling in markets. Even play is tied to learning. Children use simple toys, balls made of leather or stuffed cloth, wooden dolls, spinning tops. Games often teach skills, coordination, strategy, observation, and sometimes patience. Children also run through the streets with friends. They invent small games. They chase animals. They compete in races. Sometimes they sneak bread from a market stall. Despite the responsibilities, childhood in Rome has joy, friends, play, and small adventures. Even in hard times, they find laughter. Discipline is strict. Parents expect obedience. Mistakes can result in scolding or sometimes punishment, but teaching is also part of love. Guidance is constant. Parents want children to survive, succeed, and fit into society. Meals are important for children: bread, olives, cheese. If they are lucky, fruit or eggs. Breakfast is often eaten quickly. Children join their families, or sometimes eat while preparing for work or school. Sleep is similar to adults. Children often share beds with siblings or parents. Comfort is minimal, but the body adapts. Health is fragile. Many children face sickness. Parents try to protect them, but medicine is limited. Still, children adapt. They run, climb, laugh, and learn every day. Friendship is important. Playmates are everywhere in streets, courtyards, or fields. Games teach cooperation and competition. Social skills are formed early. Celebrations bring joy. Festivals, birthdays, and religious rituals include children. They watch parades, wear small decorations, and sometimes receive small gifts. Even the poor find moments of celebration. A festival is a day off, a chance to enjoy food, music, and company. Childhood is a balance between work, learning, and play. It is challenging, but it is human. It is lived fully. Parents observe closely. They guide, correct, and sometimes admire. Children learn quickly because life demands it. By early teens, children are no longer fully children. Boys may begin apprenticeships or training for future work. Girls may take on more household responsibilities. Childhood ends sooner than today. Adolescence is short. The city expects contribution and responsibility. Yet, even in these early years, children experience small freedoms, moments of imagination, small adventures, the thrill of exploring streets and alleys, the joy of laughter echoing between buildings. Even in crowded apartments or in small rural homes, children find ways to play. They create joy where they can. They explore quietly, watch adults, and imagine worlds beyond their small homes. Childhood is a window into the rhythms of Roman life. The daily routines, the work, the streets, the family structures, all start here. Every day, children wake, eat, play, learn, and rest. They observe life and imitate it. They prepare to join the adult world soon. Yet, even in responsibility, they are still children, curious, energetic, full of wonder. Imagine a Roman child running through the street, chasing a dog, laughing at a friend, carrying a small basket for an errand, listening carefully to the world around them. This is daily life in ancient Rome for children, a mixture of work, learning, and simple joy. In the next chapter, we will see how education and learning shape young Romans' minds, how they study, what they are taught, and the rhythm of knowledge in the city. For now, imagine the streets echoing with small footsteps, laughter and chatter floating through the air, the sun rising higher, warming the city, and Roman children stepping carefully, curiously, and joyfully into their day. Education in ancient Rome is very different from today, but in some ways it feels familiar. Learning is part of daily life. It starts early, and it shapes the rest of a person's day and eventually their life. Not every child goes to school. Where you learn depends on your family, wealth, and status. Rich boys often have tutors, sometimes even Greek tutors. They learn reading, writing, math, and public speaking. They study history, poetry, and philosophy. Sometimes they even practice debate. School is serious. Mistakes are noticed. Teachers are strict. Punishments can be mild or harsh. Even so, lessons can be interesting. Reciting poetry, practicing speeches, learning stories about gods, heroes, and legendary Rome. Girls usually learn at home. They are taught household management, weaving, and sometimes reading. Some girls from wealthy families also study music or literature. Education is shaped by what society expects. Poor children usually learn from family or apprenticeships. They watch adults work. They imitate. They practice skills like farming, crafting, or selling in markets. Learning is hands-on, not theoretical. School is not only about subjects, it is about discipline, obedience, focus. Children sit on benches or the floor. They use wax tablets or scrolls to write. Styluses scratch letters into the wax. Mistakes can be smoothed over, but not always unnoticed. Teachers are often demanding. They repeat lessons. They expect memorization. Mistakes are corrected quickly. Learning also happens outside the classroom. Life itself is a teacher. Every day, children observe adults. They see how merchants sell, craftsmen create, and parents manage households. These lessons are practical. They prepare children for adult life. Play can be educational too. Games teach strategy, coordination, and cooperation. Children learn social rules while playing. Sometimes lessons are hidden in fun. Reading and writing are highly valued. Letters, contracts, and records are part of adult life. Children trained in literacy have a better chance of success. Even moral lessons are taught. Stories about heroes, gods, and ancestors guide behavior. Courage, loyalty, respect, and cleverness are repeated in tales. Education also teaches public behavior, how to speak politely, how to argue effectively, how to behave in social spaces. For rich Romans, education is also preparation for leadership. Public speaking, debate, and understanding law are necessary for future roles. Even slaves may learn skills. Some are trained to read, write, or count. They become skilled workers, clerks, or tutors themselves. Education shapes opportunity. It determines future work. It influences social status. It prepares young Romans to navigate their complex city. Not every lesson is easy. Learning takes time, patience, and repetition. Mistakes are common. Success is gradual, but children adapt. They practice, observe, and absorb. The city itself is a classroom. Markets teach commerce. Workshops teach craft. Streets teach social rules. Home teaches family values and responsibility. The rhythm of daily life reinforces learning. Morning lessons, work, meals, play, all teach in some way. Even leisure is educational. Watching performances, listening to storytellers, or attending festivals teaches history, culture, and values. Education in Rome is practical and structured. It is also deeply connected to society. Learning prepares children for their roles as adults. It is not always fun, but it is essential. Even in strict routines, there are moments of curiosity. A child asks a question, a tutor smiles, explains, or demonstrates. The child repeats. The lesson sticks, slowly but surely. By late morning or early afternoon, lessons may end. Children help at home or continue learning through observation. Practical skills are reinforced. Theory is tested in real life. This blend of school, home, and street forms the foundation of Roman knowledge. Every young Roman grows through repetition, observation, and practice. Imagine a child reading from a wax tablet. A tutor corrects mistakes gently but firmly. A sibling peeks over the shoulder. The city outside continues to move and work. Education is not isolated. It is part of life. Every lesson prepares a child to function in the busy, noisy, vibrant world of Rome. By the end of the day, children carry their learning into other parts of life. They apply skills. They adapt to social rules. They observe and imitate adults. Education shapes not only minds but also habits, discipline, and identity. It is slow. It is steady. It is consistent. Rome is alive, always. Even when the sun rises high, the streets are full of movement. Markets are the heartbeat of the city. They are busy, noisy, and full of colors, smells, and energy. Imagine walking down a street lined with small shops. Wooden shutters creak as merchants open for the day. Vendors call out loudly, trying to attract customers. Bread, cheese, and olives are sold in one stall, fresh fruit and vegetables in another. Spices, herbs, and small baked treats are everywhere. Even toys for children, wooden dolls, leather balls, simple joys for small hands. People bargain loudly, prices are shouted, coins are exchanged. Sometimes arguments happen, but often laughter follows. Street life is not just about buying things. It is about seeing and being seen, hearing news, meeting friends, sharing gossip. Some shops are small but specialized. A blacksmith hammers carefully. A carpenter measures wood precisely. A potter shapes clay. Each shop has its rhythm, its music, and its purpose. The streets are narrow, carts roll over uneven stones, donkeys bray, dogs wander freely. Life is chaotic, but organized in a strange way. Everyone knows their place. Everyone adapts to the rhythm. Some markets are permanent. Stalls set up for months at a time. Others are temporary. They pop up for festivals or special events. People gather around to watch. Performers, musicians, and storytellers entertain passers-by. Even in busy commerce, there is culture. Children run between stalls, chasing each other, watching animals, sometimes getting scolded by parents or vendors. The smell of food is everywhere: fresh bread, cooking meat, fish drying in the sun, olive oil thick in the air. Romans eat, talk, work, and live in public. Private life is small. Most life is performed for others to see. Street life teaches observation, how to behave, how to negotiate, how to interact with others. Some streets are more crowded than others. The main thoroughfares are busiest. Carts carry goods from faraway lands. Merchants from other cities arrive with exotic items. People trade news along with goods. Did you hear about? Someone spotted. Rumors travel fast, sometimes true, sometimes exaggerated. Markets are also places of hierarchy. Wealthy citizens stroll, looking at goods but rarely buying the cheapest items. Merchants treat them with respect. Poor citizens haggle, argue, and search for bargains. Even slaves are present. They carry goods, fetch items, or watch their owners. Street life in Rome is not calm. It is vibrant, alive, and sometimes overwhelming. Noise, smells, and movement are constant companions. Yet there is a rhythm: morning to midday, midday to evening. Patterns repeat, people adapt. The city flows like a living organism. Evenings in the market are different. Some stalls close. The busiest streets quiet down slightly. Yet life continues. Some streets are alive with taverns, food, and music. Night markets appear occasionally. Street life is education, entertainment, and survival all at once. Children learn by observing. Adults negotiate and work. Everyone plays a role. Even small details matter: a vendor's tone, the weight of a basket, the angle of a cart. Everything teaches people how to move, interact, and live in the city. Sometimes a small performance distracts the crowds. A juggler, a storyteller, a musician. People stop for a moment, applaud, smile. This balance of work, play, and observation is typical of Roman streets. Imagine standing in the middle of the market. Smells of bread, herbs, and smoke fill the air. Children run past, vendors shout, carts roll over stones, dogs wander. People meet, argue, and laugh. It is loud, it is messy, but it is human. The city thrives because of these interactions: commerce, social life, public observation. Life happens in public spaces. Work, food, entertainment, and gossip all mix together. Everyone contributes. Everyone learns. As the sun lowers, the streets slowly calm, shops close, carts return home. People head to their homes for dinner. Yet tomorrow the rhythm will repeat. The market will wake again. Vendors will call. Children will play. The streets will hum with life. For now, imagine standing quietly, watching the city move, hearing laughter, calls and footsteps, smelling bread herbs and the sun-warmed stone, and realizing that life in Rome is always busy, always shared, always alive. In ancient Rome, life is busy. Work, chores, streets, and markets keep people moving all day. But Romans know the importance of rest and cleanliness, and they have a special place for both the public baths. Baths are not just for washing. They are social spaces, like a mix of a spa, gym, and cafe. Everyone goes, rich and poor, young and old. Well, sometimes slaves go too, depending on the household. A typical Roman bath has different rooms. First is the apoditerium, the changing room. Visitors leave their clothes in cubbies or hand them to attendants. Everyone is welcome, but modesty is minimal. Next comes the frigidarium, a room with cold water. People dip in to refresh themselves. It wakes the body, like an early morning splash. Then the tepidarium, a warm room. This is comfortable, relaxing. People chat quietly, stretch muscles, or just sit. Finally, the coldarium, the hot bath. Steamy air fills the room. Water is hot, sometimes very hot. Sweat helps cleanse the skin, and a slave or attendant scrapes dirt off using a tool called a strigil. Yes, scraping might feel strange, but Romans swear by it. It is their version of a deep, clean routine. Baths are also places to exercise. Some have palestra, open areas for wrestling, ball games, or light workouts. Muscles are stretched, blood flows, and energy is balanced. Social life is a big part of bathing. People meet friends, chat about news, politics, or family. Vendors sell snacks or drinks nearby. The baths are like a center of the city, even indoors. Hygiene is practical. Soap exists, but oil and scraping are more common. Water flows from aqueducts, often heated by furnaces. Hot water is expensive, so the baths are sometimes the only place Romans get truly warm baths. Evenings in baths are relaxing. People linger, enjoying steam and conversation. Slaves and attendants keep water flowing and rooms clean. The rhythm of the baths is gentle, like the city slowing down for a moment. Baths also teach etiquette. People learn how to behave in shared spaces. Not too loud, not too close. Everyone adapts to the rhythm of others. Children sometimes visit baths with parents. They play, splash, and learn routines of cleanliness. Even in play, hygiene habits are passed down. Rich citizens might spend hours in the baths, a combination of relaxation, exercise, and social networking. Poor citizens may visit briefly, just to refresh themselves. The Roman bath is more than a room. It is a cultural experience, a pause in the busy rhythm of life, a place where the body and mind are cared for. Baths also offer food and drinks. Vendors sell small snacks or wine diluted with water. Eating here is casual. Conversations flow between bites. The architecture is impressive. Marble floors, mosaics, and columns show wealth and attention to detail. Even a small bath has thought put into layout, ventilation, and comfort. Some baths are enormous, like small complexes with gardens, libraries, and lecture halls nearby. Visiting these baths is an experience, almost like traveling for leisure. Baths also reflect the Roman idea of balance. Work and rest, hygiene and socializing, exercise and relaxation, everything in moderation. Life is busy, but baths remind Romans to pause. Slaves play a role here too. They maintain the facilities. They clean, carry water, and serve visitors. Even in leisure, labor supports daily life. Roman baths are not private. Sharing space is normal. People adjust, laugh quietly, or sometimes compete for comfort. The rhythm of bathing is soothing. Enter, change, warm up, hot bath, cold dip, relax, leave. It is predictable, comforting, perfect for reflecting on the day. Evening baths prepare Romans for the night. The body is clean, the mind is calmer. Sleep comes easier after warmth and relaxation. Baths also symbolize Roman life. Public, social, practical, and sometimes luxurious, a balance of necessity and enjoyment. Imagine walking through a steamy room, hearing water splash gently, smelling warm oils, feeling your muscles loosen after a long day. The hum of conversation nearby, a Roman bath is alive, but calm. By midday, Rome is fully alive. The streets buzz with carts, animals, and people. Merchants call out. Children run between shops. Work continues. But even Romans need a pause. A moment to eat, relax, and recharge. Lunch in ancient Rome is called prandium. It is usually a simple meal, not fancy like dinner, just enough to keep the body going. Most people eat bread, sometimes with cheese, olives, or fruit. Leftovers from the previous day are common, sometimes fish or eggs. Meat is rare, mostly for the wealthy or special occasions. Wine is often part of the meal, diluted with water, of course. Even in the afternoon, it is refreshing, and Romans trust it more than plain water. Meals are eaten quickly for most. The poor and working class eat while preparing for work. The rich may have a small, relaxed lunch. Even then, it is practical, not extravagant. Food is shared with family when possible. Children, parents, and slaves gather briefly. Small talk, quick stories, laughter, and sometimes gossip fill the space. Lunch is more than food. It is also a pause in the day, a moment to rest muscles, calm the mind, and regain energy. After eating, some people take a short nap. This is called a meridatio. Yes, Romans valued napping, even in the busy city. A nap might last 30 minutes or an hour. Shadows in apartments provide privacy. Cool, shaded corners are perfect. For the wealthy, naps are more comfortable. They recline on couches, sometimes attended by a servant. The room is quiet, oil lamps are off, soft light filters in. For the poor, naps are shorter or improvised, perhaps sitting on a bench, perhaps leaning against a wall. Even brief rest is valuable. The afternoon is also a time for socializing. Some Romans visit friends or family. Some enjoy a walk through the streets. Markets are still active. People exchange greetings and news. Wine is not only for lunch, it is a social lubricant, even in the afternoon. A small cup helps conversation flow. Even children might see adults enjoying it, diluted, of course. After lunch, some Romans work again. Others continue errands. Slaves may carry out tasks, clean, or prepare for dinner. Life does not pause completely. The rhythm of the afternoon is slower than the morning. Work is still important, but energy dips. Heat rises. People adapt. Shops may close briefly. Carts move less frequently. Some streets are quieter. Afternoon rest is practical. It helps survival in the hot, busy city. It allows people to continue their day with more focus. For children, the afternoon may include study, chores, or play. Even in rest, life teaches observation, listening, and participation in family routines are part of growing up. Public spaces may see fewer people, but those present are engaged in important tasks, cleaning, organizing, or preparing goods. Baths may reopen for a quick dip, or social meetings occur in gardens or courtyards. Leisure is woven into daily life. Even small details matter. A sip of wine, a bite of bread, a brief nap. These little rituals restore energy and keep the day balanced. Some afternoons are dedicated to hobbies, reading scrolls, writing letters, playing simple games. These moments are quiet, personal, and restorative. Rest also provides a mental break. After morning labor, negotiation, and chores, Romans need calm. It is a pause before the afternoon and evening continue. Imagine sitting on a bench, a small cup of diluted wine, bread in hand. The city hums quietly outside, shadows lengthen, heat softens, and for a moment, life slows. The afternoon reminds Romans of balance, work and rest, fuel and digestion, movement and stillness. By late afternoon, the pause ends. People return to work, errands, or social visits. Energy renewed. Bodies and minds prepared for the evening. Even in a city as busy as Rome, these small pauses matter. They maintain rhythm, health, and sanity. Even in busy Rome, people need a break after work, meals, and daily chores. Free time is precious. Romans love entertainment, not in the way we binge shows on a screen today. Instead, it is social, public, and often loud. Theatres are popular. Romans enjoy plays, often comedies or tragedies. Actors wear masks. Stories about gods, heroes, and legends are performed. The crowd laughs, cheers, or gasps. Some theatres are small, some enormous. Even the poor can watch, sometimes standing at the back. The rich may sit on marble seats, comfortable and shaded. Music is everywhere, in homes, streets, or festivals. Musicians play flutes, lyres, or drums. Children learn tunes. Adults listen while eating, working, or walking. Gladiator games are famous. Colosseums and arenas fill with people eager to watch fights. It is exciting, dangerous, and thrilling. Not everyone attends often, but it is a key part of Roman culture. Chariot races are also popular. The Circus Maximus is packed with cheering fans. Teams are colored red, white, green, and blue. People shout, wave banners, and bet on the outcome. It is like a huge sports festival. Even ordinary streets offer entertainment. Street performers juggle, tell stories, or perform tricks. Children stop to watch, laughing and clapping. Adults smile, relax, and sometimes drop coins. Roman citizens also enjoy quieter hobbies, reading scrolls, writing letters, playing board games like La Trunculi, a strategy game similar to chess or checkers. Gardens and courtyards are popular for free time. People walk slowly, admire plants, or chat with friends. It is a way to enjoy calm, green space in a crowded city. Baths, as we saw before, are also entertainment. Socializing, gossiping, and relaxing are part of leisure. Wine is part of free time too, diluted with water, shared among friends. It accompanies conversation, music, or games. Roman festivals provide larger scale entertainment. Religious, civic, or seasonal celebrations fill the city with music, performances, and processions. Markets bustle. Streets are decorated. People gather to watch, eat, and participate. Even children have free time. Simple games like spinning tops, balls, and tag are common. Imagination creates endless play. They chase, laugh, and explore alleys, courtyards, and small fields. Animals are companions. Dogs, cats, and sometimes birds interact with children during play. Entertainment is both public and private. Some enjoy quiet evenings at home. Some prefer noisy, social spaces. Wealth influences free time. Rich Romans may hire musicians, attend theatres, or host parties. Poor Romans often watch street performances or join communal games. Free time is also about conversation. Stories are shared, news spreads, advice is exchanged, humor is everywhere. Jokes, puns, and playful teasing make life lighter. Even slaves find small ways to laugh during chores or errands. Sports and exercise are part of leisure too. Wrestling, running, and ball games help people stay fit and entertained. Free time in Rome is not only for pleasure, it strengthens social bonds, relieves stress, and teaches skills. Imagine a Roman evening. The sun is lowering, children run after each other, merchants chat as they close shops. Music floats from a nearby house, friends laugh over small cups of diluted wine, and the city hums with calm energy. Evening leisure is a gentle contrast to the busy day. A slow rhythm replaces labor, a moment to breathe, smile, and rest. This balance of work and free time is key to Roman life. Without relaxation, the city would be tiring and harsh. With it, life flows more smoothly. Entertainment also reflects Roman values. Skill, cleverness, courage, and creativity are admired. Stories, performances, and games teach lessons while entertaining. Even small private pleasures are meaningful. A scroll read by candlelight, a game played with friends, a quiet moment in a garden or courtyard. In ancient Rome, life is busy, noisy, and full of tasks. But Romans also have a quieter, spiritual side. Religion is part of daily life, not just big temples or festivals, but small rituals at home and work. Romans believe in many gods. Some are famous: Jupiter, Mars, Venus. Some are household gods called lares and penates. They protect the home, family, and daily life. Every household has small shrines, sometimes a tiny statue, sometimes a simple offering of food or wine. People pray quietly, asking for protection or good fortune. Even children are involved. They might leave a small coin or a flower. Learning to respect the gods is part of growing up. Slaves often help with these rituals. They light lamps, clean shrines, or place offerings. Even in their work, small acts of devotion are common. Daily life often begins with a small prayer, a thanks for food, a hope for safety, a blessing for work ahead. Public religion is also important. Temples, statues, and altars are everywhere. Citizens visit during festivals or special days. Offerings, sacrifices, or ceremonies honor the gods. Priests guide ceremonies. They interpret signs. They maintain temples. And they teach citizens proper rituals. Even in markets or streets, religion is present. Vendors may bless their goods. Shoppers may offer a small prayer for safe transactions. The city itself is filled with devotion. Roman festivals are lively and central to society. Religious, civic, and seasonal celebrations bring people together. Music, performances, and rituals create joy and community. Even work slows during big festivals. Religion also explains daily events. Why crops fail, why water is scarce, why storms appear. Romans see God's influence everywhere. Even the smallest acts have meaning. Pouring wine on a shrine, lighting a candle, a moment of silence before a meal. Households pass traditions down through generations. Stories of gods, ancestors, and heroic deeds guide behavior. Values like courage, loyalty, and cleverness are reinforced. Superstitions exist too. Bad omens are avoided. Lucky charms are kept. Fortune telling is common. People pay attention to unusual events, signs, or dreams. Religion is not only spiritual, it also shapes social life. Festivals and rituals connect neighbors, friends, and family. Community life is intertwined with belief. Even in work, religion matters. Merchants may ask for a good day. Craftsmen may pray for success in their craft. Farmers hope for rain or a fruitful harvest. Daily rituals are small but constant. Lighting a lamp, offering a bit of food, a quick prayer before leaving home. These acts provide comfort and structure. Religion teaches respect for gods, ancestors, and community. It shapes morals, routines, and decisions. Children grow up observing and participating. They learn gestures, prayers, and songs. They watch adults and imitate respectfully. Slaves also participate. Even though their lives are busy and strict, small devotionals give a sense of order. Public ceremonies are loud, social, and sometimes theatrical. Private rituals are quiet, personal, and comforting. Both are important in Roman life. Imagine a quiet morning in a Roman household. A mother lights a small lamp. She offers breadcrumbs to the lares. A father mutters a short prayer before leaving for work. Children imitate quietly, learning through example, even amidst chaos. Streets, markets, construction, the small acts of belief provide calm, a tiny anchor in a busy day. Religion also connects past, present, and future. Ancestors' deeds are honored. Daily life is guided by tradition, and hope for the future is expressed through small prayers and offerings. By the end of the day, Romans have repeated rituals many times, simple, short, and meaningful. They provide rhythm, comfort, and connection. In ancient Rome, life is organized around the family. The family is the center of daily life, work, and society. It is not just parents and children. It also includes grandparents, slaves, and sometimes distant relatives. The paterfamilias is the head of the household, usually the father. He has authority over everyone in the home. Decisions, discipline, and management of property often rest on him. Mothers have an important role too. They care for children, manage the household, and teach values. Mothers often influence daily life quietly but effectively. Children, as we've seen, help with chores, study, and learning. They grow up observing the roles of adults, learning responsibility from an early age. Extended family members may live together. Grandparents give guidance. Uncles and aunts may help teach or support. Even slaves are part of the household. They work, assist, and sometimes raise children. Their labor makes family life possible, even if they are not free. Social structure in Rome is strict. People know their place. Citizens, freedmen, and slaves each have different roles and rights. Even within citizens, there is hierarchy. Wealthy families live in larger homes. They may have private courtyards, multiple rooms, and many slaves. Middle-class families live in simpler homes or apartments. Poor families often share small spaces with extended relatives. Family gatherings are common. Meals, celebrations, and religious rituals bring people together. Even the simplest household values these moments. Education is part of family life. Parents and elders teach children about social norms, respect, and Roman traditions. Stories, songs, and small rituals reinforce family values. Marriage is important in social structure. It strengthens alliances between families. It organizes household duties and inheritance. Divorce exists, but family unity is highly valued. Children are expected to respect elders. Obedience is considered a virtue. Rebellion is rare and often discouraged. Social status affects daily interactions. Wealthy citizens may influence politics, business, and public life. Middle-class citizens focus on work, trade, or craft. Poor citizens do labor and trades to survive. Even slaves follow social rules. They respect masters, obey commands, and adapt to household hierarchy. Their social role is limited, but their labor is essential. Family life also includes leisure. Shared meals, storytelling, and music bring joy. Even simple games or walks through the streets strengthen bonds. Festivals and religious rituals are family-centered too. They reinforce social connections and shared values. Everyone in the household participates in some way. Roman neighborhoods are also small communities. Neighbors interact daily. They watch over each other, share news, and sometimes help in emergencies. Life is public as well as private. Wealth influences lifestyle. Rich families host dinners, baths, and entertainment. Middle-class families focus on practical living and education. Poor families adapt creatively, making the most of small spaces and limited resources. Even within households, rules are clear. The paterfamilias oversees finances and property. Women manage domestic life. Children obey and learn. Slaves support labor. Humor and small joys exist within family life. Children tease siblings. Adults joke quietly. Shared laughter strengthens bonds. Life is challenging, especially for the poor, but family provides structure, support, and a sense of belonging. Even in hard times, the household remains the center of comfort and routine. Imagine a Roman morning. The father steps out for work. The mother prepares breakfast. Children run to errands or lessons. Slaves move quietly, tending chores. The city outside hums with life, but the family provides an anchor. Family and social structure in Rome create a rhythm. Daily routines, responsibilities, and roles are clear. Everyone knows what is expected, and life flows with a certain order. By evening, families gather for a meal. Stories are shared, children laugh, adults discuss the day, slaves serve, quietly part of the household harmony. Even small gestures matter. A shared meal, a story told before bed, a prayer at the shrine. Through family and social structure, Romans navigate the complexity of the city. Life is busy, public, and structured, but family remains the safe center. As the sun begins to set, Rome changes its pace. The streets are still alive, but the day's busy rush softens. Work slows down, shops close, markets quiet. The city prepares for evening, a mix of relaxation, food, and social life. For the wealthy, evening begins with a meal. This is more formal than lunch. Called cena, it can be long, comfortable, and social. Guests may be invited. The meal is eaten while reclining on couches. Food is richer than lunch: meats, fish, fruits, bread, and wine. Multiple small dishes are served, sometimes with sauces and spices. Entertainment often accompanies the meal. Music, poetry, or small performances keep the atmosphere lively. Even conversation is part of amusement. Stories, jokes, and news are shared. For the middle class, dinner is simpler: bread, vegetables, some cheese, and occasionally meat. Family eats together at a small table. Conversation is gentle, laughter is common. For the poor, evening may be modest. Bread, olives, and leftovers form the main meal. But even simple dinners are a time to gather, share, and rest. After dinner, Romans enjoy various activities. Some visit the public baths again for a relaxing soak. Steam, warm water, and gentle conversation soothe tired bodies. Even in evening, baths are social and rejuvenating. Children may play quietly. Stories are told. Small games or family routines continue. Learning and observation are part of daily life, even in play. The streets in the evening are calmer, but not empty. Merchants close shops. Street performers finish their acts. People walk leisurely, returning home or visiting friends. Evening is also a time for reflection. Some Romans write letters or notes. Some quietly pray at their household shrines. These moments provide comfort and routine. Wine is common in the evening. Diluted or in small amounts, it accompanies meals and social visits. It helps conversation flow and relaxes the mind. Lighting is soft. Oil lamps or small torches illuminate homes and streets. Shadows dance gently on walls. The city feels alive yet calm, a perfect transition from day to night. For families, evening is about connection. Parents and children spend time together. Slaves continue light duties but also observe routines. Everyone contributes to the household rhythm. Entertainment remains important. Storytelling, poetry, and music fill homes. Even children enjoy small performances, listening quietly or asking questions. Some Romans take walks after dinner. Courtyards, streets, or gardens are calm places to breathe, socialize, and reflect. Even in the crowded city, pockets of peace exist. Evening rituals reinforce life's structure. A short prayer, offering to household gods, or lighting a lamp reminds Romans of continuity. These small acts connect the household, the family, and the city. For the young, evening is both play and preparation. Lessons from the day are reviewed. Chores are finished. Sleep is anticipated. Evening in Rome is also about observation. People watch neighbors, listen to news, and learn social cues. The city teaches constantly, even in calm hours. In neighborhoods, conversations continue. Neighbors exchange greetings. Children laugh quietly. Animals wander, moving calmly in the cooler air. By nightfall, streets quiet down further. Shops are closed. Carts have returned home. The city becomes gentler, preparing for sleep, even for the wealthy. The night is reflective. Families gather, stories are told, meals are digested, and comfort is found in small routines. The evening is also a time of rest for workers. Laborers, craftsmen, and slaves have completed much of the day's work. They finally get a few hours to relax, eat, and prepare for tomorrow. Imagine a Roman evening in a quiet neighborhood. Soft orange light from oil lamps. Children playing quietly in the courtyard. Adults sharing small conversations. Dogs resting at their feet. The city hums gently outside, alive but peaceful. Evening in Rome teaches balance. A busy day gradually softens into calm. Work, play, meals, and reflection mix naturally. Life is busy, social, and structured, but evening provides a gentle pause. This daily rhythm ensures the city and its people function smoothly. It provides comfort, continuity, and small moments of joy. As the sun disappears behind the city walls, Rome slows down completely. Nightfall brings quiet streets, dim lamps, and the gentle rhythm of rest. Romans do not have electricity, so the night is naturally dark. Oil lamps or small torches provide light, but only in necessary spaces. Most of the city sleeps under soft shadows and moonlight. In homes, the family prepares for bed. The paterfamilias checks the household briefly. Slaves finish small tasks. Children tidy their spaces and prepare to rest. Beds are simpler than today. Mattresses filled with straw or wool. Blankets may exist for the wealthy. The poor often sleep on mats on the floor. Comfort is minimal, but warmth is managed with layers. Sleep is communal. Families often share rooms. Children may sleep with parents or siblings. Even slaves sometimes rest in the same space as the household, though separate when possible. Before sleeping, small rituals take place. Prayers to household gods, known as lares and penates, are common. A tiny offering of bread or wine, a whispered thanks for safety, health, and a new day. These nightly rituals provide calm. They remind Romans of order, protection, and continuity. Evening conversation winds down. Stories, gentle laughter, and advice are exchanged. Then the city quiets. Nighttime is also practical. Romans adjust schedules according to the season. Longer nights in winter mean earlier sleep. Shorter nights in summer allow more evening activities. Children often fall asleep quickly. Their day has been full of learning, chores, and play. Fatigue is natural and sleep comes easily. Adults sometimes stay awake longer. Wealthy Romans may write letters, read scrolls, or enjoy quiet conversation. Middle-class citizens may finish small work or prepare for the next day. Even slaves may stay alert a little longer. Tasks cleaning and household duties often extend into twilight. Despite the lack of modern comforts, Romans adapt to nighttime naturally. The quiet, cool air of evening helps relax the body. The slow pace of streets outside signals it is time to rest. Sleep is not just physical, it is a pause from a structured, busy life. It allows the body to recover. the mind to process lessons, events, and observations of the day. Nighttime routines create predictability. Romans know when to sleep, when to wake, and when to prepare for morning. This rhythm organizes life and supports the busy schedules of the city. Even in large, noisy neighborhoods, small sounds become soothing, dogs settling in courtyards, distant voices fading, carts returning home. The city hums quietly in the background. Dreams are part of Roman life too. Many believe dreams carry messages from gods or spirits. Some write them down. Some share stories of strange or meaningful dreams. It is another layer of daily life, mixing belief with rest. Roman sleep is also influenced by light and heat. Rooms are ventilated when possible. Windows or small openings allow cool night air. Heat from day slowly fades, making it comfortable for rest, even in poverty. The simplicity of sleeping spaces teaches adaptation. Straw mats, shared rooms, and minimal furnishings create a natural rhythm. The body learns comfort in simplicity. Safety is important. Locks or heavy doors may be used. Neighborhoods often look out for each other. Quiet observation ensures peace for sleeping families. Nightfall in Rome is gentle yet structured. It follows the natural rhythm of the sun. It balances the busy, loud, and vibrant day. Imagine a Roman street at night. Shadows stretch across walls. Soft lamps glow in windows. Children sleep, softly breathing. Adults rest, quietly reflecting on the day. The city hums a gentle lullaby. Sleep prepares Romans for tomorrow. Another busy day of work, learning, play, meals, and rituals awaits. It is the natural pause in a life full of structure and activity. Nightfall is more than darkness. It is calm. It is reflection. It is the quiet heartbeat of the city. Even in ancient times, sleep is sacred. It restores energy, strengthens family bonds, and supports social life. Romans know its value from children to elders. After exploring ancient Rome from sunrise to nightfall, we can take a quiet moment to reflect. Daily life in Rome was busy, structured, and full of small routines, but it was also deeply human. The city moved constantly, markets buzzed, streets hummed, and voices echoed everywhere. But within the chaos, Romans found rhythm, comfort, and connection. Families were central. The paterfamilias guided the household. Mothers nurtured and taught. Children learned, played, and helped. Even slaves were part of this daily flow, contributing to work and order. Homes were small or large, simple or decorated, but they all centered on the family. Meals, rituals, and quiet moments shaped daily life. Even small acts, lighting a lamp, leaving a small offering to the gods, sharing a story, were meaningful. Roman children grew up quickly, play mixed with responsibility. Learning was everywhere, from tutors to streets, markets, and workshops. Education prepared them for adult life, but life itself taught lessons too. Work, trade, and craft filled the day. Romans were practical and productive. Every profession, from blacksmith to merchant, from baker to scribe, had its rhythm. Even leisure and entertainment had structure. Baths, games, festivals, and music balanced effort with joy. Religion threaded through life, in private and public. Small daily rituals offered comfort. Prayers and offerings reminded Romans of the gods, ancestors, and the continuity of life. Even superstitions and dreams added meaning and guidance. Meals punctuated the day. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner reflected status, resources, and lifestyle. Lunch offered pause. Dinner allowed connection and enjoyment. Wine, bread, and shared conversation wove life together. Evening brought calm. The city slowed. Families gathered. Stories, music, and small games continued before nightfall. Sleep restored bodies and minds, readying them for another day. Despite differences in wealth or status, many experiences were shared. The rhythms of the city connected everyone. Markets, baths, festivals, streets, and homes all created a shared life. Even challenges, heat, illness, work, or noise, were experienced collectively. Life in Rome was human at its core. People laughed, played, worried, prayed, and loved. Children ran through streets, adults debated, families shared meals. Even the city's noise had a gentle, natural rhythm once you listened closely. Small details reveal the city's character. Straw mattresses, small toys, oil lamps, bread crumbs, coins, and tiny shrines all mattered. These small acts made the daily lives of Romans real, lived, and relatable. Through observation, routines, and adaptation, Romans built a society that was busy but balanced. Chaos and order coexisted. Work and play intertwined. Public life and private rituals complemented each other. As we reflect, we see the lessons of Roman daily life, the importance of family, community, and structure, the balance of work, learning, and leisure, the blend of public life and private devotion, and the simple human joys that made life rich, even without modern comforts. Imagine walking through a Roman street one last time. Sunrise brings markets, children chase each other, merchants call, baths steam, evening brings calm, nightfall ushers sleep. Every day repeats this rhythm, human, vivid, and enduring. Life in ancient Rome was not just about grandeur, politics, or war. It was about ordinary people, living, laughing, working, and resting, finding meaning in small acts and shared routines. This reflection reminds us that history is human, not just dates, emperors, or battles. It is the daily experiences, choices, and habits of people. It is the small joys, the struggles, the laughter, and the rest that define life. Rome may have changed over centuries, but the essence of daily life, family, work, learning, play, and reflection, remains something we can understand and appreciate. Even as we leave the streets, baths, markets, and homes of ancient Rome behind, we carry the story with us, the rhythms, the small rituals, and the human experiences are timeless. They remind us that life, no matter the era, is built from ordinary moments filled with care, connection, and curiosity. So, as the city sleeps, imagine the quiet homes, the warm lamps, the soft breathing of children, and the calm of adults resting. The heartbeat of Rome slows, but life continues tomorrow, just as it did centuries ago. And perhaps, as you close your eyes tonight, you carry a little piece of Rome's daily life with you, a gentle story of human routines, small joys, and the timeless rhythm of living.